Hey, Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today on Alpha Commission, of course, we're going to go over that big drawdown on the Bitcoin chart, as well as the bounce, perhaps a local floor that we may have found. And let's just first go over what we were talking about in the last episode. So here we go. Really what I'm going to be paying attention to is whether or not this was kind of a distribution setting up a creek, right? And then I'm going to look to see, are we going to jump this creek and then, have signs of strength? And this would be a clear Wyckoff pattern that would be reaccumulation and could take us massively to the upside. So I will be paying attention to whether or not we lose this area convincing or not. Should we have a pullback? I'm not calling for a pullback unless we perhaps get below that 69,750 at the end of the week, guys, okay? All right, so there you have it, guys. I set out some clear levels for you at around 69,000, 70,000 that we had to hold on to in order for this market to continue to pump bullishly. But instead, we failed, and we did have that drawdown where we did go attack that bearish control zone. And in that same episode, I was telling you that there would be a flight to safety where altcoin money would go into Bitcoin. You can go ahead and watch that episode completely, and you will see that I was strongly warning you that altcoin money was going to go into Bitcoin. And so if your alts have been bleeding, well, guess what, Alpha Fam? You had the heads up, you had the advantage on the market, and you guys are just absolutely killing it. Now, guys, if you didn't protect yourself in that drawdown, we can just go over our levels today. Let's go ahead and put on some monthly levels. And you can see that we are bouncing right now off of this, clearly supportive area where we have had reactions in the past. This isn't a very strong reaction. However, we did get a nice play to about 2/3 above in this range. I did put that play on my Twitter as well as in the Discord. You guys can go ahead and look for the link to that in the description of the video below. But of course, we also, nothing goes straight up. We have to have pullback. So we're just going to look to see, are we going to find some strength in this pullback that we're having right now on this move, or are we going to dip deeper? If we do put on some order blocks here, you can see that we do have a nice supportive bullish order block here. Unfortunately, we also have some liquidity that's potentially up for grabs. So if we do just come down here and have a nice flick in this area, that would be more in line with this kind of diagonal that we have on this kind of a flag of a range that we have going here. So anything down, somewhere around 59,000 to mid 50s is pretty fair game if you just think about this range and then possibly taking out some liquidity for those who are playing that range. If the market makers want to do that, of course they can. Under there, we really don't have very convincing support until perhaps 50K, where we do have a nice juicy order block down there, which we'd almost be guaranteed to get a nice reaction off of that one. As for where we are today, of course, we are just having some reaction off of this bullish order block. We really didn't explore it, unfortunately, very well. We do have this breaker block that we did push through, and now we're just going to try to see, can we flip that and maybe head up to this resistance again at around 67,000. If we were to put some, alpha momentum pool on this one, you can see that we are just now crossing into that pool after checking back to the volatility pivot at 63,120. Under 63,120, I would suggest that we did have a continuation bias to the downside. However, as long as we're above that number, and especially if we're above 63,420, we are just holding our momentum to the upside here, and we will add to that momentum should we be able to hold 64,400. In that area, we are going to run into the 200 on the 4-hour chart here. These are daily key levels, by the way. We are on the 4-hour chart. You can see that the 200 is overhead. And if we do bump into that, maybe we could just try again. Or, of course, this could be that rejection point for that deeper pullback. So we are going to be just looking out for that in the next couple days, perhaps over the weekend. Where could be a possible target? Of course, we do have these monthly levels up here. That does correspond with our big alpha energy strength of the move level, which we need to flip in order to really continue bullishly. And that would be 68,400 approximately, maybe 69,000 if you just want a round number. Where we do start reaching our volatility pivots for the week, and if we do close above 70,000, let's just say 200, if we close above 70,200 on the week, that will be an incredibly strong showing, which would, in my mind, imply that we're going to try to breach the bull zone above 71,700. And if we can flip that, we will also grab the 2-week volatility pivot, and this thing could be just a game back on, guys. Okay. However, should we dip below 60,750, it could just take more time for this to be a corrective situation. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. That pretty much gives you the game plan for perhaps the next week or so. Guys, you guys have just absolutely been killing it. I know that this market has been pretty rough, but please feel free to join us in the Discord. Again, the link is in the description of the video below, and we'll be glad to just talk with you. That's what communities are for. Guys, that's your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.